That's what you were supposed to do. Hey there, y'all. We're live.
We are live.
And Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley said, those closest to pain should be closest to power. But look around. After DOGE cuts cost Black families their federal jobs, after ICE raids let Black families zip-tied in Chicago, after costs of living skyrocketed from tariffs, after elites, that'd be the Epstein elites, escaped consequences in the Epstein scandal, after endless wars, that'd be Iran, in case y'all didn't know, spending while communities struggle and don't have health care and are behind on their rent payments, who is actually being moved closer to power? Because when Democrats were given a choice in Texas between a Black woman who speaks from the pain and a candidate perceived as safer for white moderates, they chose comfort.
Mm-hmm.
They chose comfort. They chose the mediocre white man over the overqualified Black woman. So I'm asking you today, if those closest to the pain are still kept arm's length from power, what actually has America even learned from the past 18 months, right? Struggle is not sacred. And so how much longer are we supposed to carry a country that refuses to carry us?
Hey, Utopians. I'm Rick.
And I'm Halisi.
Welcome.
To Our Black Utopia.
Oh, yeah.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even early.
And abroad ain't bad either.
Abroad's not bad. All right, sweetie. So what are we talking about today?
So y'all know that we've lived abroad for nearly 4 years now, and we have watched Black Americans build peaceful lives outside the system. You know that Halisi has helped get laws passed at the state and the federal level.
Y'all know, I know how to make the sausage. I know how that sausage is made and what it takes to make meaningful change for our community.
Yeah. And one power is consistent.
That's a
one
pattern.
That's what I was going to say, the other power.
The pattern, right?
Power. One pattern is definitely consistent. When a country shows you who it will protect, believe it.
Right.
So today we're talking about Black people deserve a life without struggle. Black expats. You know, we're going to break down 3 key points. 1, what the Talarico Crockett primaries really signals. 2, why Black folks are resting is not a feel-good slogan. It's a strategic necessity.
That's right. That's right.
And 3, why Black Americans may need to shift their energy from fixing America to building peace elsewhere.
Hello. All right. So put this in the chat. Are you tired or are you just used to it? A, I'm tired. B, I'm used to it. C, I'm ready for something different. Okay, let us know. And here's the trivia question for today. And I know every single utopian better get this right. If you're watching from the future, hey, are we out of the war yet, y'all? From the future, let us know. Let us know. I hope the future is better than right now. All right, so let us know. What percentage of Black women voted Democratic in the last presidential election? Y'all better know. Drop your guess in the chat, all right? Drop your guess in the chat. Now, it's interesting because 2 of my mentors have kind of been talking about this. Stephanie Perry did a video yesterday, and the title was different, but basically she was asking, don't Black women deserve ease? And so we're continuing that conversation. And the question that I want to know is that, like, given what has happened, what Texas signal, don't Black people deserve not to have to struggle anymore?
Be nice.
Right? anymore. All right. All right. Let's say hello to the folks who are in the comments, and then we're going to get to it. This is going to be a conversation. So we want y'all to stick around. I see some answers down there. We've got a new member. Hey, Liz. Welcome to the Utopian family.
Welcome.
We get together every Sunday before we go live. 1 hour before we go live, we get together. We were just chitty-chatting about 10 minutes ago, all right? And we answer questions and all of that good stuff. Hey, Allison.
Hey, Allison.
Gwen and Derek are in the house. Yes, happy International Women's Day, which is another reason. Look, y'all, I'm just going to be honest. I got my feelings hurt last Tuesday. I do not live in Texas. I have never lived in Texas. We do have family that lives in the Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we have no ties to Texas. But I felt it viscerally when Texas did whatever they needed to do to make sure that Jasmine Crockett didn't win. It felt personal. I'm just going to let you know. It felt personal. And I'm going to say something that is counterintuitive. And I want you to take this with a grain of salt, understanding that we are still just less than a week away. Let me take this, Quinn and Derek, off. That we're less than a week away from that disaster. It was a disaster because I'm sorry, James Talarico is GOP light. He takes money from the Adelsons, okay? He takes money from the Adelsons. So that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. And no, Jasmine did not take money from AIPAC. So what are we to take from that? What are we to take? Because I knew Tuesday night that this probably wasn't going to turn out our way. And I just went to bed. It was kind of like November 2024 all over again. And I'm thinking, oh, America still hasn't learned, huh? America still hasn't learned. Y'all have not figured out to listen to Black women. We are the only ones, y'all. We are the only ones. All right, I'm going to continue on. Happy Women's Day. So, hey, it is international. Yes, it is International Women's Day, and that's why we are lifting up the Black women who have stood in the gap. Right, from Chisholm to Crockett and everyone in between. We have stood in the gap. All right. Hey, A Better Life. It's good to see you. Yeah. Abundance Now is in the house. It's good to see you. Kathy Jesse, who is a member. Welcome. Yes. You've been a member for a minute, obviously. So we can't see like the Sankofa bird that we use. We can't see it in this third party app that we use. Oi, Tudor Bang. I'm not sure which language you're speaking here.
I think they're speaking
Portuguese. I think you're supposed to be speaking Portuguese, and it's Tudobem. Bang. Tudo bem. It pronounced really crazy, y'all. I know. I'm starting to fall in love with the Portuguese language as I take more lessons and stuff. Hey, Badia, good to see you. Jamaica Blues in the house. Venus Kirby, Shanora, of course. Thank you. Greta and Victor are in the house helping us out behind the scenes. We so appreciate y'all. We so appreciate you. All right. Don't get it twisted. They're family at this point. Life with Nia is in the house. Kimmy Smith, A. Lee, Biz Help Guru is in the house. Rhonda from house sitting retiree. T. Marie, home and abroad. All right, y'all. We love you. It's great seeing you in the chat. Derek Williams, Carla is in the house. And y'all, if you are a Utopian legend, you have access to buy the tickets for the meetup. Okay. Legends get the first dibs because there's certain things that have limited space. And so y'all told us last year to let the legends have priority. We listened. Okay. So we're giving the legends a little bit of a head start to go ahead and buy your tickets for this Juneteenth meetup. It starts, the informal activities start June 10th. June 10th. Okay. So informal activities, June 10th, the formal activities, June 15th. But y'all need to check it out. All right. Y'all need to check it out. So look in the post Utopian Legends and you will see what you need to see. All right. Maria Farland is in the house. Now, you guys know the drill. You want to put a Q in front of your question or comment. A Q in front of your question or comment. But first, if you're new to our channel, y'all may not know, back in 2018, Rick and I got a wake-up call, y'all. We were looking at our money and it looked crazy.
It's crazy.
It was kind of crazy, y'all. It really was. He was so depressed. He was depressed because he didn't realize that as they were talking, I was coming up with a plan. And we got our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. Okay. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, we are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before our 4-year anniversary, which is next month. Can we do it, y'all? Can we do it? We know that 50% of the people who are watching, y'all just lurking around in the background. Some of you guys may think that you're subscribed. And I've been hearing from a couple of people that they were subscribed and all of a sudden they were unsubscribed. So check it out. We know some funny stuff is going on, with some of these platforms, people getting taken off and banned and stuff like that. Y'all know I got banned. CK donated membership for 10 people. All right. For 10 people, it looks like. So, or member for 10 months. Either way, have you signed up for the 2026 OBU meetup? Will you be at the cookout? Look, CK. Everybody can't sign up yet. Only the members get to sign up right now. And that you started that stuff. You started it. Hey, Josette, thank you for becoming a member. All right. Not only do we hang out an hour before we go live, but also we get together every other Thursday with our legends. Legends are able to come on air, talk to us, ask questions, and give their opinions about what we're talking about on that day. Okay. Yes. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get started, and then we will start answering questions. But wait a minute. I want to see what you guys are saying, because I think that a lot of you, no, they ain't learned. Angela, they have not learned. Nope. They have not learned. Like, it's interesting because there is this notion, especially like in Southern California and stuff, that there's this Black and brown coalition. And sometimes there is. But sometimes what we forget is that we're coming together to get this thing done. But the Latino people are making sure that the Latino people get what they want from the coalition, and the Black people are making sure everybody gets what they want from the coalition. That is the problem. You have to remember, we are the original human beings on this planet, y'all. So we probably have the most maturity. It's in our DNA. Everyone else came from us, came from Mother Africa, right? We are the original people. And so we have to remember that everyone does not have the emotional and compassionate IQ that the average African American, the average African has. I love my brothers and sisters, my people of color. I do. And some of them are on point. But a lot of them are just looking out for their community. And I can't hate upon that, but we have to remember everyone does not think like us. Everyone does not say, we're going to come together and we're going to get this stuff for everybody. No, they're saying we're going to come together and we're going to make sure our community gets their part. I'm just saying, that's what history tells us. That's what history tells us, right? So I'm not the only one who was just heartbroken about Jasmine Crockett. Okay, so A Better Life says 90%. My understanding, it's 92%, y'all. It's 92%. So we got 95%. I wish, Benita, I wish we came out 95. Had we come out 95%, she might have won, because she only lost by like a few 100,000 votes, if that much. Okay. It was not a lot. It was a little here and there, just like Hillary. It was a little here and there. And they try to act like it was a landslide. It was not. Yes. No. 92% is everything that I've heard. Hey, Jeffrey, good to see you last night.
Hey, Jeffrey.
95% is what he said. I wish. All right. We're going to get started. And I think we said hello to Josette. We don't want you to feel stuck. Okay.
No.
We don't want you to feel stuck. We want you to come up with a plan, and we can help you all come up with a plan, right? Because Black folks deserve ease, not endless mobilization, right? So even after Trump 2.0, after authoritarian creep, right? Y'all know what lifestyle creep is, right? Authoritarian creep. I don't even know if it's creep anymore. When you can like declare war without Congress, is that creep, right? Like when you can just call the National Guard regardless of what that governor says, is that creep? When the Supreme Court of the United States, SCOTUS, says that the president has immunity from any criminal prosecutions as long as what he is doing is supposedly within the service of his job, is that creep? Or is that just authoritarianism and fascism? Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's call a thing a thing. And that's what they could not handle from Congresswoman Crockett. Put a handle in front of it. So after economic pain, a Black woman is still framed as the risky choice. After Kamala Harris said over and over and over again, if you elect this man, he will have the military in the streets against American citizens. Happened. He will become a puppet of Putin. Didn't he just disregard Ukraine? Check mark, right? And Bibi Yahoo will have him by the strings. Ain't that what's happening? I mean, the so-called Secretary of State just said the only reason why we got into this conflict with Iran, oh my God, it's just like Vietnam all over again. Like the clueless, the absolute clueless. No, they're not going to fight us the way wars are fought. They're going to be sneaky deaky, as they have to be, because they don't have the manpower. I didn't think they'd start bombing the Gulf. What the hell you thought they was going to do? And Kamala Harris, the Black woman, said that all of this would happen. She said it. She said it. And some Black people were saying, but she ain't really Black. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I don't like her laugh. Wasn't she locking up all these people about weed back in California? Do your damn homework. You are an adult. You sound like the 40-year-old person who is still blaming mommy and daddy for how their life turned out at 40 years old. Still blaming mommy. Didn't she do that? Really, people? Really, people? So you thought the better choice was the melon felon, the adjudicated rapist, right? The person who is a 30, 32, 34 count felon. You thought that was the better choice. Or you thought sitting your behind at home on the couch. How is that working out for you?
They F8 and F4.
Right? So what lesson exactly has America learned from the past how long has it been? November 2024? Because, okay, he didn't take office until January 20th. But we knew November. We started moving money in November 2024, y'all. Okay? Because we saw this coming. It is common sense. It is common sense. And if you're just now waking up, welcome to the family. I'm sorry you're behind the 8 ball. We can help you get out from up under and around the 8 ball as soon as possible. But you got to be willing to make some sacrifices at this point, unless you already had your financial stuff together. All right. If you did not, we can help you get there quickly, because America has not learned crap over these last 13 months since this man has taken office. They still think that electing the safe, mediocre white man is going to get them what they wanted, even though it has never worked in the past in Texas. But that just lets us know they haven't learned anything. Not only have they not learned anything, the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party, first of all, they do not respect Black people, and especially Black women who are the base. We are the only ones who come out consistently for more than 90% for whomever the Democratic candidate is. And it's time they need to start paying the MFing piper. I'm sorry. Like I said, if I were in Texas, I'd leave that, especially, okay, I would be strategic. If I saw the other races were going to give us the what I'm trying to say, the majority in the Senate, I'd leave it blank. I'd leave Talarico blank, because the Democratic Party needs to feel the pain. They need to earn back our vote. They're still riding on the 1960s shit. And nah, they don't get to do that anymore. They don't get to do that anymore. Let the shit burn. It was never working for us in the first damn place. Right? It was never working for us. And they want to do little millie mouth, little side steps and half steps and this and that and the other. Oh, we're going to give you Juneteenth Day. We're going to give you MLK Day. No, damn it. Start enforcing the law. Take away all of these laws pre-1960s that really have an inordinate impact on our community. That's what y'all need to do. That's what you all need to do. Black folks consistently show up to save democracy.
Black women are the most reliable voting bloc.
We know that. Black folks are the early warning system, because we've been telling them, right? We've been telling them what they need to do, yet they are repeatedly told that our Black candidates are told they're too much.
Too much, too loud, too risky.
I just love Jasmine Crockett. I just love her, but I just don't think she can vote for Talarico. We need to stop voting for who we think we can win and start voting for who we want to win. When people come to us and say, I could never move abroad, I'm like, okay, if you say so. Oh, I could never become wealthy, if you say so. Right? Or a Black woman could never win in Texas, if you say so. Because the only way any of those things are going to happen is if you do something. Right? If you do something. Crockett framed the moment as urgent. Black and Indigenous women have consistently been closest to pain in America, and yet there have only been 4 Indigenous women elected to Congress since the beginning of this nation, of the United States. We don't live there, y'all. No, we live in Portugal. All right. There have only been 30 Black women. United States is about to turn 250 years old. There are 438 or 36 members of Congress, plus another 100 in Senate. And only 30 Black women have been elected to either body, period. I'm just saying. So, what did the party choose?
They chose calmer, safer, and less polarizing.
All right. Still centering white, moderate comfort. All right. What are you guys talking about? Because I'm so angry right now. I am so angry. And what we are doing is letting you know, ain't shit changed. Ain't shit changed. Like, if we thought Like we see all the FAFO videos and we're like, okay, they learned their lesson now. You see how they're just, weeks cleaning up. No, 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 no. No, don't get it twisted. Because Crockett versus Crockett, a civil rights attorney, a state house rep, and a U.S. congresswoman could not beat somebody who was a teacher for a couple of years, went to seminary school, and was in the state house or state senate. Okay, he ain't an attorney. He ain't none of that stuff. He does not have more experience. He is going to have a bigger learning curve. But so miss me with the meritocracy, because that's a myth. There is no such thing as a meritocracy when it comes to Black people. We have to stop trying to save what is not salvageable. It's not salvageable. Let it burn. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Will Bro.
Will Bro, thank you for, first of all, thank you for the super chat or super sticker money. Y'all know that 100% of our donations goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program for late bloomers, just like ourselves. So Will Bro says, preach. And here's something for the fun. Thank you. Heading to Costa Rica.
Happy birthday. Happy
Today
birthday.
is my 65th birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And I can't stop, and I won't stop rewarding myself for living the right way. Right? We have to redefine what success looks like. Okay? So that we do not stay tied to beliefs and systems that are not in our best interest, that are not servicing us, okay? Y'all know our story. And I remember my mom, my old job was killing me. And my mom was like, but I like that job for you. No, she liked bragging to her friends about what her daughter was doing, even though it was killing her daughter slowly but surely, stressing her the F-U-C-K out, right? She wasn't trying to hear all that. She was not trying to hear all that. And I had to tell her, Mommy, I love you, but I'm not doing what you want me to do. I'm doing what I need to do to save myself. And that may mean that you do not get to brag to your friends in the same way that you've been bragging in the past, right? Like I am not your ego booster. Okay? That's not my job. That is not my job. And I know that's really hard for parents. The reverse is true too, parents. Okay? We do not spend our retirement on our kids. If you cannot afford to send them to college and they have not earned a scholarship, maybe they need to bring their behinds over here and go to school over here. We do not go into debt getting a degree that probably will not pay for itself. That's what we don't do anymore. We don't do that anymore. All right. This world is changing, and I'm not even sure a degree is even worth it in the traditional sense, unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, something that's got to be, but really you can be a lawyer without going to law school. You all know that. You just need to pass the bar. Oh, you ain't know? Yeah. You just need to pass the bar. Now that ain't true with doctors. But anything that's certified and stuff like that, okay. But for the rest, I think we need to think a little bit more creatively, right? We need to think a little bit more creatively. We need to be building communities, self-sufficient or semi-self-sufficient communities wherever we are going and if we are staying, because the system is not looking out for us. All right? It's not. And white folks are not going to be able to do this. They've never had to do it. Or not in so long, right? And even if you think about the Civil War, it wasn't until we got involved that the North started winning. I mean, let's just be honest. It wasn't until we got involved with World War II until our side started winning. That's a fact. That's a fact. They don't know what to do. Because they've never been closest to pain. All right, what are you guys talking about? Half of it is a state of mind, you guys, right?
Yeah, you have to change your mindset.
Rick always says that. You have to change your mindset, okay? And Rashida, I've been telling you guys this, but I have not said it as succinctly as Rashida said it today. So I'm going to repeat the words of one of my mentors. How much, what do you need to leave the United States? You should know. What do you have now? And what is the gap? Right? We call it the delta. What is the delta? Sigma theta. And what is it going to take you to bridge that delta, to bridge that gap? What is it going to take? Is it going to take 3 more months on your job until your pension goes up? Is it going to take creating a side hustle? Is it going to take just doing a little side hustle work, like a little consulting, maybe a little part-time call center job? What is it going to take? Because until you deal with the numbers, you're just thinking of it abstractly, and it could seem overwhelming, okay? But Rick and I found a way to live on $2,500 a month. Okay, what do you have, and where can you live the way you want to live on that amount of money? That's the first thing. That is the first thing. CK says, all the legal precedent that diminished the rights of Black folks but empowered law enforcement need to be reversed, right? Now that everyone is getting a taste of the Black experience and the unlawfulness.
Exactly.
Right? I'm not sure, CK, if they have put 2 and 2 together. If they have not said, like, now, the righteous whites and the spicy whites, the ones who have been on the right side of history all along, they get it. They get it. But the rest of them people, even some that are on the left side, I'm not sure. Like, I cannot tell you how many white folks in the Democratic Party that I used to have to deal with that would say stuff like, I don't think police target Black people. I mean, I've got a Black grandson. And so I just don't believe that that's true. How old is your grandson, sweetheart? Oh, he's 2. And so your Black daughter or son-in-law, you haven't talked to them about that? Especially if you've got a son-in-law. You ain't talked to them about that? Really? That's what you think? All right. So just marrying into the community, don't do it. That does not do it, right? That does not do it. All right. When we had separate towns and economies and banks and schools, right? See, I remember this white person asking me, how come is it that every time I go into a Black neighborhood, it's run down? Black people let their places run down. Like, totally out of context. They don't know their history. They can't tell you about redlining. They can't tell you about how many Black communities got drowned, got put underwater. Now there's a lake, or demolished and built the Central Park, the New York Central Park, right? Or a university in the case of Denver, right? Not even considering the Black Wall Streets and the Rosewoods. We ain't even talking about them. It's really easy to judge a people when you don't know the history, which is why they're trying to erase it. Half the Black folks don't know their own history.
No. That's the crying shame.
Right? Because grandma didn't want to talk about the painful parts. Because great grandma didn't want to talk about the painful parts. That does not service us. That does not service us. When we separate towns and economies, yeah. Eminent domain, they burn them down to the ground and use eminent domain to move them or flood them.
Exactly.
right? Lake Lanier. People are having their little what are jet ski
Jet
things?
skis.
Not the jets, but not, is that what they're called? The ones that you ride?
Yeah.
Okay. Over the bodies of over black graves. And then they wonder why people just drown in that lake and just come up missing in that lake. They wonder. Thank you, Bonita.
Thanks, Benita.
Bonita is not only a member, but she's adding some more money to the pot to make sure everybody can get the exit that they want. John asks, when we need to stop being so damn inclusive to everybody. Like, that goes against the core of who we are as the people who are so close to God. And yet,
but we're not made that way.
And yet, we're not made that
We're not
way.
made that way.
It's very hard for us to be assholey.
Yeah.
That's what white folks don't understand. It's not in our DNA. But don't push us. Don't push us. John says we need to focus on helping ourselves and stop talking so damn much. Yes. Yes. We need to make plans behind the scenes, okay? Everything is not going to be discussed in public because they're listening. So y'all know that every single word that we said is being listened to by AI and there's a transcript that is created. Where do you think that information is going? Where do you think that information is going? I just wonder. Biz Help Guru says, Robert asks, are we behind the eight ball? I said, no, we're watching from Ecuador. And here's the thing, because last week we talked about, is anywhere safe? He's threatening Ecuador. He's threatening Colombia. He's threatening Cuba. If the UN or somebody does not step in, unless they want World War III, right? In which case, I would say all of these people are invested in companies that would benefit from going to war. And I say, no, my son's not going. I don't know about your son, but my son is not going. Period. The end. If I need to sneak him out to camp, he is not going to fight the Melon Felons Wars. And it's only because he knows his behind is in them damn Epstein files. It just came out, yesterday or Friday? They recovered those interviews with the 13 or 14-year-old who claims that the Melon Felon raped her. Could that be what he was hiding from? I'm just asking. America would rather have a 34 count convicted felon than an educated Black woman in office. Yes, they're afraid of us. Because you know what? When people accuse people of doing stuff, it's usually the stuff that they would do themselves. And so I heard white folks, especially during Obama, say, we can't let the Blacks get in. We can't let the Blacks get in charge, because if the Blacks get in charge, they're going to treat us like we treated them. Oh, so but you always say there's no racism. So what you talking about, brother man? You can't say that there's no more racism on the one hand and then say they're going to treat us like we've been treating them on the other hand. I'm just saying. If Biden had not stepped aside, I believe we would not have been in this mess. I don't know, Tashika, because that first debate did not look so well, y'all. It did not look so well. It did not. And so I don't know if he had the energy to show out in number 2 and number 3 the way Obama did. But I didn't vote for Biden in the primary. I did not vote for the person I thought could win. I voted for the person I wanted to win. That's what I do. Other people vote for the people who they think can win. And I keep saying, if you say so, If you say she can't win, then you're not going to do what it takes to make sure she can win. If they really believed Kamala was not black, she would have won, I think is what you meant to say, as the anyone but black candidate would have won. Right? Oh, they were so happy to call Obama only half black, right? But unfortunately, Kamala wasn't half white. She was half Indian. And that just was not good enough. That was not good enough. I'm in Lisbon now and have been around the city and a few other areas. I really like Cascais to live. My move abroad plan has begun. Hey, T. Marie, I don't know how long you're going to be here, but send us an email because
welcome to Lisbon.
Yeah, welcome to Lisbon. We're getting together next Friday. So if you're still around, send us an email. We'll let you know where we can hang out. People still think things will change after the midterms. They have their heads in the sand. We're assuming that there's going to be a midterm.
They got to have a midterms first.
We're assuming that there's going to be a midterm. We already see.
Unless y'all know something we don't know.
In Dallas, this is how it used to work. You could show up anywhere and vote. And then on election day, it was at a designated place. Now, why did I hear from people on the ground that the designated place became the Republican place to vote and Democrats were sent to another place? So when the Democrats showed up to the place where the elementary school down the street where they always vote, oh no, this is for Republicans only. You have to go down there. Huh? What kind of nonsense is that? Because the county clerk pays for that space, not the Republicans. So instead of the county clerk paying for one space, just to make sure Jasmine didn't win, they paid for two spaces and sent the Democrats to another space. So if you left on your lunch break, you might not have gotten a vote. Okay. You do not have to change the laws. You do not have to say no elections. You just have to allow for these kinds of shenanigans. Okay. And that was not a free and fair election. That primary between Talarico and Jasmine Crockett was not a free and fair primary. When a judge said, because of the shenanigans, and here is something else, they did not put the new locations on the website until noon of that same day. So if voting started at 8 a.m., from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., nobody knew where they were supposed to go. You could not find that information anywhere unless you showed up. Tell me, how is that a free and fair election? Okay, so it has already begun.
Oh, yeah.
Do not think that there's going to be a free and fair election in November. We have to make that happen. You have to get on your clerk and county recorder, or however you guys do it. Is usually, might not be a clerk and county recorder, but at least a county recorder. Get on their ass. The Secretary of State is in charge of elections. Get on his or her ass. What are you doing to ensure? Where is the information? When is it going to be published? All of this information should be public. In Colorado, we don't have to deal with that because every single registered voter gets a ballot in the mail. And you can register and vote on the same day. Because we want people to vote in Colorado. What is going on in your state? What's going on? SCOTUS is complicit in everything that is happening right now. Yes, they are. By their recent rulings, right? And the giving of the immunity. Yes. There's only with the tariffs because they probably looked at their stock portfolio and said, some of them stocks ain't growing like they supposed to, so let's reverse the tariffs. But everything else, yeah, let's let that go ahead and slide. That election was a Barabbas versus Barabbas. versus Jesus' decision. The population picked the criminal. Right? Yes, it is creep. And they are trying to enact the draft and get boots on the ground in Iran. They will get boots on the ground in Iran. It's going to be y'all. I don't know what it's going to take. But I think Bibi and Putin got the goods on y'all's president. And they're just like a puppet. And he's the marionette. For Juneteenth, I'm bringing my 3-year-old daughter with me. Is she able to attend all of the events? I'm purchasing my tickets today. Hey there. I'm not sure if a 3-year-old would have fun on all of the events. The evening event is like a 4-course chef tasting menu with wine pairings and things like that. Now, some of the informal things that we're doing, she would probably have fun. We're doing a little river cruise, which is very smooth. As long as you're holding her hand and stuff, she'd have fun on that. But this really is an adult thing. It's an adult thing for the most part. The all-day excursion on the second day, we know there were babies last time, okay, and they were fine. Yeah. They were toddlers, as we visited Nazaré and
in strollers.
In strollers, yeah, in strollers. So we're going to be in Nazaré, we're going to be in Obadosh, and we're going to have wine and lunch at the Buddha Eden Garden. Did anyone see that the Colombian president spoke at Jesse Jackson's service? No, he's more ballsy than U.S. politicians. I did not see that. I saw what Obama said, but I didn't see anything else. I had a Hispanic friend that I unfriended after knowing her for over 20 years. She watched my daughter as a baby because she watched my daughter as a baby, but I guess you unfriended her because she's MAGA. Y'all, this is not McCain versus Obama or McCain versus, this is on another level. And it is a value statement. I'm sorry, it's not just politics, it's values. And anyone who voted for Trump basically said, we do not value we do not value women. We do not value people of color, right? We believe that racism should be the law of the land. And white people should always be on top. That's what your vote said.
Mm-hmm. You don't belong.
That's what your vote said.
You don't belong.
So, time to unite as an independent. So what I've been saying is that I'm not going to vote in the primary for any Democrat that is not endorsed by either the Justice Democrats or the Working Families Party. That's my thing. If you're not endorsed by one of them, because the Working Families Party is not in every state, I don't think. And I don't know that the Justice Democrats get involved in every single race, but I'm just saying, who is endorsed by them? People like AOC. That's who. Okay. So I think that's the first step to a third party where we create the Working Families Party. Actually, in some states, is an actual party. In Colorado, it's not. They partner with the Democratic Party, but they don't endorse every single Democrat. Okay. They did endorse me when I was running, but they don't endorse every single Democrat. And like the Justice Democrats, they're really, it's like, stop playing with me. Okay. Stop playing with me. So Tashika says, I got a wake up call. I feel stuck right now, baby. We got your back. All right. We're not going to feel stuck. We're going to make a plan. That's what we're going to do. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters haven't learned. They have not learned. They have not learned.
No.
They have not learned. They are still trying to pull up that ladder behind them. And that's not godly, right? I don't know. My mom always taught me that whatever I achieve, I'm supposed to leave steps behind me for somebody else to follow behind me and build upon what I've done. That's what I learned. That's what I grew up learning, right? Through the principles of Kwanzaa and everything else. That's what I grew up learning. So I'm not sure where they learned this scavenger mentality. I think that's what it is. Not all Latinos, of course not. Hey, Dennis. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, as always, right?
Always, yeah.
Every single penny that we get in donations goes to our scholarship fund. If you need a scholarship to Beyond the Bling, just send us an email, put scholarship in the subject line. We do have a waiting list, but you don't have to give us, a long diatribe about why or any of that stuff. If you ask, we know you have integrity and we're going to assume that you need it. Okay. So Dennis says, if this regime starts more fires around the world, right, and the financial economic cost becomes too much, maybe the Republicans will rethink ousting this little Hitler. Unless they're all invested in companies that are part of the war industrial complex. Or in other words, of Bahad Bobby, maybe Iran will catch him outside. I don't know who Bahad Bobby is, but I get the point. I want regime change, y'all. I want regime change. That's what I want.
Bobby.
Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. I do not care. I want him out. Out. And I don't think that Mr. Smoky Eyes, vice president, with his tattooed eyeliner on, can get people behind him the way this cult mentality, melon felon person seems to just get people to do things that are,
What are you talking about? The couch bandit?
yeah, I call him Smoky Eyes. He's always wearing eyeliner.
Eyeliner on.
Even them Smoky Eyes wasn't helping him the other day with that picture. Oh, the picture that was in, I think it was Vanity Fair. You have said it before, we should sign up to work the polls. I have said that, Shanora. You see the nonsense. You see the nonsense. Because had we been working those polls, we would have been texting the Crockett campaign saying, here's the shenanigans. And then they could have sent out text to say, this is your new location. But they're finding out at the same time we're finding out and showing up because we're not working the polls. If you've got time on your hands, all you have to do is get with the Democratic Party and tell them, or you don't even have to do that. You can just go straight to the county clerk. All right. The people who run your elections and say you want to be a poll watcher. And I believe that every single state pays their poll workers. It's just minimum wage or so, whatever the state minimum wage is, but it's not totally volunteer. Okay, so that I do know. All right, I've got time on my hands. How do I do that? I'm here on the gerrymandered state of North Carolina. Where will we be sending Roy Cooper to the Senate? And you don't have to do that. You don't have to send him to the Senate. Y'all ain't got to do that, right? You don't. If you have time on your hands and you want to see where your people are headwise, go knock on some doors. I'm telling you, you get a wake-up call.
You get a wake-up call, for real.
Woo! Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. The Cheeto is talking about the draft as well. Not my son. Not my son, y'all. Knowing how MAGA feels about us, we are not friends, right? You would be okay if they hurt me or my people. That's the thing. See, it's not just, we're just politics. No. It is not just politics, okay? Every part of our life is affected by politics. Everything, what you get to eat, how clean that food is, how clean your water is, how clean your air is, what the price of your utility bills are, how much do you have to pay for food and clothes. All of that is politics. How much you have to pay for tuition. Y'all know the only reason we have to pay tuition is because of racism. There was no tuition back in the day until we started going to school. Now there's tuition. We can't have universal health care because of racism, because God forbid that the lazy blacks, the lazy blacks get health care. God forbid the lazy blacks get to swim in our pool. Let's just put cement in the pool. Nobody can swim now. Well, who does that? Who does that kind of shit? It's crazy. Why are you still trying to live in a place that does stupid ass shit like that? It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. I'm just saying. One says, have you noticed that your retirement savings is dwindling? My IRA, Roth, and wealth building accounts have taken a big hit. My account is looking like it did when COVID hit. Yes, the market is on sale. The market is on sale, and it is not always going to be on sale. So if you have extra money that you do not need for the next 5 to 10 years, I would say buy up the stocks in the companies that you know are well run and that have an outlook for the future to survive. Okay? And now is not the time to invest in a blockbuster. You get the point. Okay? If this were in those days, it would be investing in Netflix, not Blockbuster. You get the point. Okay? The market is on sale. When them red bottoms are on sale, you go buy them. Oh, I saved all this money. But somehow when our stocks are on sale, you think you're losing money. So you have not lost any money because you have not cashed out. It's just a paper loss, okay? So what we do not do as Black people, we do not sell low and buy high. That's what we do not do, okay? We do not panic. We have a plan. Larry Daniel Favor has a platform for us to join to discuss our issues and solidarity and how we move. I do not live in New York, but yes, she does. And she's a civil rights attorney and is a YouTuber and has a podcast and has a show on Sirius XM. And she has the Sankofa Society or Foundation or something like that. And they are meeting offline to discuss how the community can come together in New York and get stuff done. I love Larry Daniel Favors. Hey, Karen Louise, I'm not sure what you're agreeing with, but yes, agree with me. Agree with me. I went to renew my passport yesterday at the post office and paid for it to be expedited. Y'all, get the stuff done. Their proximity will not protect them. I'm sure she's talking about Latinos. MAGA will never accept them fully. No, they will not. No, they will not. Right? You know it's sad when the person who's, I will vote for Donald Trump, and she got deported. Okay. How's that working out for you, Latinos, Latinas? How's that working out? Right? They will use you and throw you away, just like they did with Trump's African American. See, there's my African American.
Oh, don't forget about his South Africans.
Oh, the white South Africans. How are they doing now? Last I heard, they were not too happy.
I thought they went back to South Africa.
Some of them went back to nothing. You can find our email on our YouTube page, y'all. Okay. The GOP will not reverse course. Admissions of wrongfulness is foundationally taboo. It is for this version. Yeah. So it's called the Sankofa Community Empowerment. I knew Sankofa was in the name because we use the Sankofa bird as our membership icon. For those who are members of our Black Utopia, it's never been just politics. It's never been politics to us, right? Because we understand how those politics affect our daily lives. I work the polls every election, and I am an election judge. Or maybe it's the election judges that get paid and not just the poll workers. Tammy, I can't remember. But either way, there's not like, you don't have to pass any tests or anything like that, y'all. Okay. But what you do is make sure that there's no shenanigans going on, and then you can report them if you see them. Tuscaloosa, Alabama did that. They put cement in the community pool and turned it into a bus station.
Wow.
It is so sad and pathetic what they feel like they have to do to keep us down and to make themselves feel better. It really is sad and pathetic. And I don't know what you guys think, but I'm not here for it. All right. Number 2, America rewards white comfort over Black clarity.
If a nation tolerates economic harm to Black workers,
Carceral expansion,
elite impunity, rising cost of living, and still prioritizes electability optics over truth telling.
then the issue is not misunderstanding. It's values alignment. And we have to ask, are we aligned with the values of this system? Are we? Because Doge cuts disproportionately hit Black federal workers, right? ICE enforcement images in urban communities, Epstein scandal and elite protection culture, tariffs, increasing cost of living, endless wars, spending $1 billion per day while they're cutting our health care and taking the $6 a day out of the mouths of babies. But you got $1 billion to go bomb somebody who didn't do shit to us? Really? Because Bibi said so? Really? I don't know. What do you guys think? Because from where I'm standing, this is some That's what it is. It's my And like I said, that I think our youngest son, my bio son, is too old to be drafted at, isn't it, to 25 years old? Well, that's what it was. I think it was 18 to 25 back in the day.
Yeah, if he opens a draft, they're going to try to draft older people too.
My son ain't going. I don't know about your son. My bet. Watch. He ain't going. Hell no. Fight somebody else's war. Oh, no. Hey, Jeffrey, we offer up the best, brightest, and still we are not appreciated.
That's right.
See, that's what they don't get. It takes a certain type of person to be able to withstand all of the nonsense, crap, oppression, right, that we have had to endure.
Yeah. Just like Jeffrey said, it's time to make a new plan. Break free of conditioning.
The average white person could not have made that journey across that Atlantic Ocean. They could not have survived the abject, prolonged oppression that is slavery. They could not have endured the humiliation, the degradation of work camps, right? Slavery by another name, of Jim Crow. They could not. But those of us who lived through all of that through our ancestry, we're a special kind of breed, y'all. Don't F with us because we've been through it. See, that's what they, if you don't know your history, because if they did know their history, they would be begging us to get involved, but we're resting. We're resting and we're plotting. We're resting and we're plotting within community. How are we going to help each other out? That's what we are building here at Our Black Utopia. Okay. A community where we lift up each other's side hustles, where we lift up each other's dreams, where we help each other out, because there's no such thing as crab in the barrel mentality here on Our Black Utopia. That's not how we roll, right? That is not how we roll. And so, Jeffrey, we thank you for the donation. We really thank you for the donation. Again, that goes to our scholarship fund. So what do you guys think about all of this nonsense, right? We know That all of this is about the fact that he's accused of rape of a 13 or 14-year-old. And it was so, whatever her testimony is, was so convincing that the FBI, a real FBI, had 4 different interviews with her. And they tried to bury it. And I think it was NPR is like, wait a minute now, I see 1. Wait, was it 1 and 5? What's going on? Where's 2, 3, and 4? Right? Are you so aligned with the values of the system of the United States that you are afraid to leave? What is holding you back? What is holding you back? We answered that. We answered that. We answered that. Hey, Millie, just made it to Portugal because of you all and our rich journey. Colder than SoCal, but nice. Sometimes it's colder here than SoCal. Sometimes it's not.
But it's starting to warm up.
Because, our family is in SoCal. So, yeah. And depending upon where you live, because when I was a kid, the winters in LA near the beach were kind of like this, a lot of fog in the morning and kind of dreary and, kind of spitting rain. And then it would kind of warm up and then it would get dreary again in the evening and stuff like that. And then days and days of rain. That's how it was when I was a kid. And that's kind of how it is here.
Yeah. And yes, we do have daylight savings.
Yeah, but it hasn't started yet.
No.
So does daylight savings happen in Portugal?
It starts, what, a week or 2 weeks after?
About 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think around the end of the month we'll be.
Towards the end of the month.
Like the United States used to be when we were kids. We make sure we don't miss the train to Cascais in the morning. So Cascais, y'all, is southwest of Lisbon proper. It's about a 30-minute ride on the local train. It's a suburb. It really is a suburb of Denver.
Beautiful area.
Of Lisbon. Yeah, we love Cascais. If you have the money, it's a great and by the way, the person who's here, if you're going to be here next Friday, send us an email. Go find our email on our YouTube page. Send us an email, and if you want to get invited to the Sangria Society, we'll invite you. If you have the money, it's a great opportunity to buy. You may want to look at what you're invested in and be confident in those investments. Thank you, Greta. She's absolutely right. Right. And so what we have done within our IRA and our brokerage account, et cetera, is that we've started reallocating, especially for the new money. Okay. We've started investing in companies that are international. We've started investing a bit in companies that are located in the BRICS nations. If you don't know what those are, then you need to go back to our playlist, get your money straight, and you'll see us talk about the BRICS nations, right? And so, it's interesting because we talked about this a week or two ago. Both France, Germany, and a few other countries are saying no more to American SaaS, SaaS for software. No more Zoom, no more Microsoft, because if Trump gets pissed, then he tells Microsoft, shut Germany down. And they've been capitulating, and these governments are like, you know what? We do not want our fate in the hands of this cuckoo bird. Because the melon felon is a cuckoo bird. I think he's has sundowners, dementia. He do sundowners, and then he's got dementia. He reminds me, the way he talks and stuff reminds me of my father when we first realized that things were going downhill. Just like, huh? My father was brilliant. And some of the shit that used to come out of his mouth in them final years, I was like, okay, Dad, if you say so. It was some crazy ass stuff. And we've got somebody like that running the damn country. All right. So if you need help with this, get in Beyond the Bling. We talk about investing every month. Okay. We talk about investing every month. You don't have to be out here alone trying to get this stuff done. You don't want to join Beyond the Bling. We've got a whole playlist. And half the stuff that we talk about, more than half the stuff that we talk about in Beyond the Bling, you can get for free if you want to watch our videos. All right. We offer all of that information for free. Where there is no vision, the people perish. That's right, M. Robinson. Our focus must be more on what we need to do versus what they are doing. Exactly. Exactly. Well, we need to be aware what they are doing so we can counteract what they're doing. Right. But that should not be the focus. The focus should be on what we're doing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you hear that pumpkin spice? I like that one. Because it sounds so benign, right? And he is like the most dangerous benign person that has ever come across politics. Pumpkin Spice is now doing military. Oh yeah, talking about doing military action in Ecuador. Yeah, we just mentioned that, Allison. Ecuador, Colombia, Cuba. Come on now, what the hell? What the hell? I just don't know. I'm getting in late, so I apologize. No problem. Rita, if you addressed this already, how can we bank abroad ahead of a move? Okay. So every country is different, but we can tell you how it works here in Portugal. You need to get a tax ID number, and then you can open a bank account. And you do not have to be a resident of Portugal to get a tax ID number. Okay. And so we had a tax ID number 6 months before we moved. And then when we came on our scouting trip, we had our tax ID number, and we had all of our other information, and we opened up a bank account when we were here on our scouting trip. So it's just as easy as that. Every country is a little bit different, though, and so we can't speak on every country. Right. The tech bros thought that they were so smart. They just ran smack into old money. Sam Altman is now doing damage control like the muskrat. Oh, interesting. Wait till the government declares them domestic terrorists. Look, BizHelp Guru, I can't say that you don't know what you're talking about. Because like there was a time there would be like, yeah, right. That's like Pizzagate. But when a congresswoman, unfortunately from Colorado, asked the former Secretary of State, the former Senator, the former First Lady about Pizzagate, yes, I could see this happening. I could see them saying, elongated muskrat is now a domestic terrorist if he says anything against the regime, right? And anybody else, Bezos, any of them. I do not hold anything past these people. Not one single thing. Thank you, Mona Lisa, or Mona Wilson. I called you Mona Lisa, girl. Mona Wilson for the super sticker. We appreciate you. Every single penny goes to our scholarship fund. And again, thank you, Doug Yarn. We appreciate you too. Y'all are showing out. Okay. Let's keep it moving. So we talked about the Doge cuts. We talked about ICE and what all the nonsense that they're going. There is a difference, y'all, between struggle and purpose. Okay. And I don't like to talk about purpose in that we all have a purpose and we need to find our purpose before we, no. You decide what your purpose is. And the only reason that you do not know what your purpose is probably because you've been listening to other people and what they say you need to do. Right. I told y'all, Mother Vincent was like, but I like that job for you. I think that's your calling. I think that's your purpose. Really? Why is my hair falling out? Why I got to work 70 hours a week? Why do I have to defend people like Congressman Al Green from some little white boys telling him he does not know anything about Jim Crow? Yes, that happened. Some Bernie bros did that shit. I had to, boy, shut up and go sit down somewhere. Don't be disrespecting our elders. But mediocre white boys think they know more than a 70-year-old black man who was born in the South. about Jim Crow. They think they know more because they done read a book. Like just like the stupid congresswoman from Colorado trying to go toe to toe with Clinton. Now look, I can't stand Hillary Clinton. I can't stand her, but the woman is smart. You got to give her that. She is smart. And anybody who thinks that they can go toe to toe with them better come correct and not with some nonsense, Pizzagate, QAnon nonsense.
But she did say she was going to go see some live plays at the theater while she was in Washington or wherever. That one reporter asked that question. But I think a lot of people didn't get what he was asking.
I didn't get it because when you come from New York, why do you got to see plays in Washington, D.C.?
Because of the plays that she went to see in Denver and got caught doing other activities in the play.
Oh, you're talking about Boebert, not Clinton. I was like, Clinton lives in New York.
I'm talking about the Colorado.
Oh, Boebert. Look, I don't keep up with the, I heard, look, these people, we already knew that like Boebert, we were telling people didn't she flunk out of community college?
That woman is
just like Sarah Palin flunked out of community college. But we give me a break. All right, so this is key, y'all. This is key. Struggle is not sacred. It's fruit of the slavery tree, as my mentor would say. All right. Black resilience has been romanticized to keep us functional inside dysfunction. Hello. Did you hear me? Black resilience, Black strength. Oh, they're strong Black woman, strong Black man has been romanticized and weaponized to keep us functional in a dysfunctional system. All right. A life of ease is not laziness.
Peace is not surrender. Relocation is not cowardice. It is resource.
That's right. Reallocation. All right. Like I said, Rick and I figured out where we could live the way we wanted to live on $2,500 per month. I think that's like $32,000 a year. Okay. It can be done. It can be done. Don't get it twisted. We've already told you, even with inflation and all of that stuff, after 4 years, all of our necessities, including food, are still under one Social Security check, under that amount. So if you're trying to do some consulting, if you're trying to do a side hustle, if you're trying to do some 1099 work, et cetera, you do not have to bring in as much as you would have to in most of the major cities in the United States. Okay, now, if you're from Montana or South Dakota, baby, I don't know what to tell you because I don't know how much it costs to live there. But I know how much it costs to live in Tacoma, Washington, in Seattle, right? In Sacramento, even in Ohio. Right? Especially the Cantons and the Clevelands of Ohio. There are places around the world where you can live better for less money. For less money.
But you know how much the healthcare is going to be in those places.
That part. And we've already talked about healthcare, so we're not going to get into all of the numbers on this one. Okay. If you guys have questions, you can ask. But we've already done a lot of videos talking about our healthcare costs. So no, look, y'all, if the environment does not reward your safety, if the environment does not reward us for doing what they said we're supposed to do, keeping our nose clean, getting the education, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. If you're not flourishing, then staying loyal to the environment that is slowly killing you is not noble. It is costly. All right. So we need to have a strategic shift. Energy allocation. Look, you cannot fight on every frontier forever. I don't know about you, but I have passed the baton. And I remember asking our youngest son when we first left, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to come with? He said, no, I want to stay and fight. That's when he thought Kamala was going to get elected. He ain't singing that same tune. The melody has changed. All right. And for people to expect us to continue, we got to fight for this and fight for that, fight for this, fight for that. The war against this, the war against that, the war against this, the war against that, fight. Aren't you tired yet? When do we just get to be? When do we get to go out to dinner late at night with our friends and stay until we close the place down without worrying about somebody's boss or something else telling us that we got to hurry up and go home and then start worrying about what emails we might have missed?
Don't miss that at all.
You sure, baby?
I'm positive. Lord, no.
Right? Black folks, we have paid enough dues. If you are 40 to 45 or older, I know you've paid them dues. And if you're younger than that, you've paid some dues too. And we do not want you to pay all of the dues that we've had to pay. That's why we do what we do. All right? There is a whole big wide world out there. And we need to remain nimble and not get in the way of these fools, because they're foolish. They really are. All right? You can't fight every fight forever. So we got a question for you.
What would your life look like if your baseline was safety instead of survival?
If you're watching from the future, let us know in the comments. All right? If you're in the live chat, let us know. What would your life look like if it wasn't about survival, but just about safety? How different would your life look? All right? We're not saying everyone must leave, but what we are saying, if your nervous system has been on high alert for decades, you deserve to explore environments where that is not required. Hello?
You deserve it.
And as I always say, America really does need to feel the pain of a Black brain drain. Starting with Jasmine Crockett. I'm still pissed. I'm so angry that they still have not learned. They sit there every single day and replay what Kamala Harris said. And they say, yeah, but we can't, but Black women aren't electable. I'm so over it. I am so over it. And I don't want to play those games anymore. I'm not playing the games. I am not part of the Democratic Party anymore. Like I said, unless they are endorsed by the Justice Democrats or the Working Family Party, I am not voting for them in the primary. I am not. And I'm going to be very strategic about who I vote for in the general. Now, I'm going to do everything that I can do so that MAGA does not maintain control, assuming that we have a free and fair election. But y'all, what we're not going to do is keep doing the same thing, except expecting different results. And if we keep voting for the mediocre white man, Biden, we're going to keep getting mediocrity and less than we deserve. All right? And less than we deserve. And that's just not acceptable. I hear so many so-called FBAs talking about, well, we built this and my ancestors and blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. What are you fighting for? And aren't you tired of fighting? Can we just put down arms, as in armaments? as in guns, metaphorical, right? Can we just stop fighting and just start living and enjoying each other and lifting each other up and building community and building businesses and building positive things? No, we can't even get to that part because we're always fighting just to survive, just not to get a neck on our throat. We're fighting, we're fighting, we're fighting. Since we're talking about this, y'all, we're going to have a very, very quick Civics 101, okay? Because we do not have the luxury of being ignorant about this. Your elections are run by two people. One, the state secretary of state is in charge of elections and usually business in your state. Very, very different than Marco Rubio, okay? It's not the same kind of secretary of state. Do not get it twisted, okay? So your state secretary of state helps set the rules, and you should be able to look on their website to see what the rules are. Number two, your clerk recorder, the person at the county level that is in charge of elections. We have over 3,000 counties in the United States, and every single one of them runs an independent election based upon the rules of the Secretary of State, number one, and the federal government, number two. Actually, federal government, number one, and then the state, number two. Okay? So that could be 3,300 different types of systems. In Colorado, because we're brilliant in Colorado, and we had a brilliant Secretary of State, and we pressured the Republican Secretary of State to get on board, okay, back in the day. We have several things. The first thing that we have is 100% mail-in ballot. So for those of us who live abroad, we get sent, we tell them we're abroad, we tell the Secretary of State that we are abroad, okay? And they send us an email and to say that your ballot is now available to download. We download the ballot, we fill it in electronically, we put it on a Kindle, an iPad, or something like that, and we sign it with our finger or with our pen, right, on the iPad, and we upload the whole thing to the Secretary of State, boom, done.
And we do have the verification now.
And then because we have signed up and because Colorado invested in this system, first Denver did, and then Colorado as a state did, you can sign up for text alerts. And so once our ballot has been received and scanned or whatever, we get a text from the clerk and county recorder's office saying, we have received your ballot. Then we get another text says, your signature has been verified. Then we get another text says, your ballot has been counted. Okay? That's how it works in Colorado. If you all don't have all of that stuff, why not? It's because you haven't fought for it. And here we go. We got to fight again. But the least that you can do is understand how the system works so that you know you've got to vote the ballot all the way down, all the way down. I remember when my pastor said, oh, I threw that ballot away. That's not an important election. Every election is important. The reason why we had shenanigans in Dallas is because too many people like my pastor said, oh, that's not important. And they probably elected a Republican clerk and recorder or whatever they're calling it in the Dallas area because they didn't vote all the way down the ballot. The SAVE Act, which is in the Senate right now, will take away our right to vote from abroad because it will mandate that we have to get a paper ballot that has to be mailed and received before Election Day. Now, it's almost too late for that because I know what it takes for these counties to get ready for a general election, right? Whether it is the midterm elections or the presidential, it takes a lot to get ready for elections. You can only imagine, because it's everything from the sheriff in some towns, and you got city council sometimes running in these elections, dog catcher, you got county commissioners, you got, all the stuff. It's a lot. And then we got the people at the top hemming and hawing and playing games and stuff. You guys, we cannot afford not to understand how the system works, because we are going to be the first affected by some nonsense. Okay, so JAEM, of course, this was not a lecture to you, but you need to find out how it works in your state, and then educate your friends and family, so that the nonsense that goes on in Dallas, see, if had everybody who wanted to vote for Jasmine vote early, they wouldn't have had a problem. This, I want to vote on election day. Why? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my whole entire life. It really, really is. Well, not the stupidest, but it's kind of stupid. And even one of my mentors, she don't know she's my mentor, Karen Hunter, it's like, I want to vote on election day. What if there's a snowstorm in New York on election day? How's that going to work out? Maybe she's in New Jersey. How's that going to work out? We're assuming everything's going to work out fine on election day. And you see what happened. A good chunk of Jasmine's people waited until election day and then couldn't make it happen. And there was no recourse. Had they brought their behinds out for the 2 weeks ahead of time, then they would have known. Thanks, Strickland, so much for the super chat or super thanks money. And we thank you for being here. We thank you for being here. New tip from Marshall Oliver. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, the coffee things are coming through. Oh, that's new. Cool. So you can, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee. You're actually not buying us a coffee, because even those donations go into our scholarship fund. So either way that you want to give, we actually get a bigger percentage from the coffee donations than we do from the YouTube donations. So if that is your goal, then yes, buying us a coffee is the way to go. All right, what else are you guys talking about? I get so tired of people telling me I am running, and now I just say, hell yes, I am. Tammy, running from what? Like, if there's danger, why wouldn't you run? Why is not running from danger not the smart thing to do?
You're not running, you're going.
You're escaping. You're escaping danger. Like, if you're in a burning house, what? You supposed to stay in with buckets of water and try to put that thing out? No, you run and try to get everybody out with you.
I mean, if they feel that you're running, that's on them. That's not on you.
Running from what? That's what I would ask friends and family who want to, think that they've got influence over my life. What do you believe I am running from? House is on fire, y'all. The house is on fire. If your nervous system, we've said this, but if your nervous system has been on high alert for your whole entire adult life,
you deserve.
You really do deserve.
And you owe it to yourself too.
Right? To explore an environment where people treat you well, where people treat you the way you want to be treated. You deserve it. Okay? Let's make sure we've got everybody tagged. I believe we do. Those who stand their ground in a horror movie, right? Like, look, the biggest lie that filmmakers ever told is killing the Black person first in these horror movies, because we know good and god dog well we wouldn't be running and like we hear the chainsaw and we gonna go start running towards it. Baloney.
Nah.
Baloney. Okay, here's a trivia question. If you see 100 people running that way, what are you gonna do? Let us know in the chat. If you're watching from the future, let us know in the comments. What are you going to do? If you see 100 people running that way, what are you going to do? Why are you laughing, sweetheart? Why are you laughing? Because you know it's kind of an inside joke, y'all. But seriously, what are you going to do? Please explain why you said we don't have to send Roy Cooper to the Senate in North Carolina. The others running in GOP are triple down Trumpers. North Carolina's purple fighting to not go red. I'm not sure. Is Roy Cooper a Democrat? I'm not sure who Roy Cooper is, Myra. Purple, try not to go red. Do we just give up? No. You don't give up. I don't know who Roy Cooper is. I just assumed it was a GOP person. I don't know, because I don't know North Carolina politics that well. So look, what I'm saying is, let's say Roy Cooper is a Democrat. I don't know. And Roy Cooper is polling to win. He's going to look him up. I think, no, the person I'm thinking of is from Alabama. The person I'm thinking of is from Alabama. So I don't think that's Roy Cooper. But anyway, let's say Roy Cooper's the Democrat and it looks like he's going to win. The person who is running up in Maine against that old stupid woman who voted for the Iran war after the fact, what if he's polling to win, right? 60% to 40%, right? And so on and so forth, where it looks like, okay, we've got 54 people who are polling to win outside of Talarico. I probably would leave that line blank if I were in Texas. Because
Democrat.
Okay, he's a Democrat. Okay. Just because the Democratic Party needs to start respecting Black women. Now, other people, okay, I think he was a former governor. Yeah, he was. Other people will say, no, it's not about that. Politics is all about the distribution of resources. Yes, it is. But the Democrats haven't been distributing those resources equitably either. Okay. They've been giving us Juneteenth and MLK Day as opposed to true protections and taking away the laws that they know disproportionately hurt Black people. Like what? So I'm going to give you an old-fashioned example. This is how you use lawfare. After slavery was over, they passed laws that said two things. One law said you are not allowed to sell anything after dark. So if you've got vegetables to sell, fruit to sell, blah, 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 you're not allowed to sell it after dark. Okay, safety, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no big deal, right? Then they made another law and they said all Black people must be working for somebody else during the day on somebody's farm. So if they're sharecroppers and they have some extra to sell, when are they supposed to sell it? Because they have to be on somebody's farm during the day. You see, you can make laws and never, ever mention Black people, Indigenous people, any other people, but you already know who it's going to affect. That's how they use lawfare, all right? And so the Democrats have not been aggressive in making sure that laws like that do not exist, nor have they been aggressive in making sure the laws that protect us are enforced aggressively.
Right.
Too much police brutality has been allowed under Democratic rule, under the Democratic Party's rule. All right. All of this, 3 strikes you're out. That was under the Democrats. You have to work if you're on welfare. That was under the Democrats. And then the Republicans triple down on it and say, oh, we just got you like this. How about if we put 2 feet on your neck? So the Democrats just hold us down and then the Republicans come down and stand on our neck. That's what happens, right? And so we need to be strategic The Democratic Party has been taking us for granted. And we need to let them know. Oh yeah, that's right, a better life. Right? So while we do not have health care, while America does not have health care, while the average American is going bankrupt,
they're sending that money away.
They're sending tons of money to Argentina that probably does have universal health care, and to buy their beef just to stick it to the to the rural MAGA population and ranchers.
And now we're fighting a war in Iran for Israel, which we're paying for.
$1 billion a day.
Our tax dollars are paying for that war and have been paying for it.
Yeah, right. Well, Iran's costing us $1 billion a day. God only knows what it was costing us per day to supply Israel. Oh, and by the way, they have free education and free health care.
From your tax dollars.
From our tax dollars. Maybe they need to take the money away from their health care and away from their education and pay for their own damn ammunition and stuff. How about that part? How about that? I have a patient from Ukraine. His dad was in Spain when the war started. The government wanted him to return and fight.
At 52 years old.
I'm not sure what the average 52-year-old is going to do. Now, if he were an officer and it was just about strategy, oh, okay. But boots on the ground? That sounds crazy. They want to draft everyone. I'm not going anywhere near that draft. Tashika, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. My son is not going to nobody's war for these people. No. I don't believe in war. First of all, I think it's like one of the stupidest things. It's so stupid. And an American journalist interviewed a leader from Iran and asked him if they were afraid of American troops on the ground in Iran. I know he said no. They have been preparing for this shit since the late 70s. That's what people don't understand. They never trusted America. And why would they? When we have shown that we are not trustworthy, even under Democratic presidents, we're not as trifling as these fools have been, the bomb Iran crowd. But Obama has done some stupid shit, and so did Biden, and so did Clinton. All right? So it's just not as stupid. But now white folks got a show about being in the jungle or in the Congo naked and afraid. Oh my God. Y'all. The average American is so ill-informed and undereducated. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And we Black folks have allowed these uneducated, ignorant, ain't been through nothing people rule stuff. We have got to get together and stop this bullshit. We are the parents, and they're acting like children. They're acting like the 40-year-old loser who is still blaming mommy and daddy for the state of his life or her life.
Which he is doing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Exactly. All right. And don't forget about the Lake Michigan baby as well. He's cray-cray. Who's the Lake Michigan baby, Tashika? Y'all, I don't know all the codes. I can't keep up with everything that's going on over there. You guys got to let a brother and sister know, right? What's going on? All right, Doug. We speak their English. We speak their French. We speak their Portuguese. We speak their Italian. But we are dumb, right? We have assimilated into their culture, educated about their lives. We know them. They do not know us. Mm-hmm. We have to know them to survive, right? And we're being watched daily. COINTELPRO, anyone? There is a new version of COINTELPRO going on right now between elongated muskrat and whatever the hell he's doing with all that data he stole, and Palantir, which has given ICE the ability to tap into people's phones and turn on the camera without the light coming on and listen to us. That's why I might as well just say it on air. I might as well just say it on YouTube if they can listen to us anyway. This way, they ain't got to do that. They know where I stand. And I was probably already on the list any damn way.
But if they listening on my phone, they're going to be bored to death.
until they listen to me.
Will be bored.
Pan-Africanism shall prevail. I hope so, Doug. Because what the other thing that they have been doing is really, really pumping up this diaspora war. And we've got to stop it. Okay? It doesn't matter that there's always members of the group who are undereducated and uninformed and believe the nonsense. That does not mean we, as the mommy and daddies, go for the nonsense. Okay? I am a Pan-African. I believe all the folks whose ancestors came from Africa need to stick together. And I think that is the future of the planet. So that's how I roll. That's how I roll. And that's the way I was taught. That's the way my mommy and daddy taught me. And I'm never going to believe otherwise. And I have always treated African immigrants the way I wanted to be treated, even when I could see that they had some doubts. That's a them problem, not a me problem. That's a them problem, right? And I'm not going to adopt their problems. Just because they got a colonized mind doesn't mean we should follow suit, okay? I read that Trump told the UK that we didn't need people to help after we've already won the war.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was calling Zelensky saying, Zelensky, hey, check this out. So I heard that y'all got some technology that can sense these little bitty drone things that Iran got going, that you guys are experts at that. You think you can help us out and show us how to do that? Who was it? Wasn't it JD Vance who said, we have the upper hand? Or was it the Melon Felon? We have the upper hand to Zelensky, right? You didn't even say thank you.
That was knuckle nut. That was a couch pirate or whatever.
Smoky eyes, right?
Couch
Talking
man.
all that yakety smackety. And now they come, boss, hey boss, you think we can get some of them drone taker outers, them things y'all been you think you can give us some? Zelensky said, yeah, as soon as you restore what you said, what you promised. How about that? How about that? Now, them tables show do be turning. As Larry says, the tables have turned. The tables have turned. It's just ridiculous. The UK had offered to send aircraft carriers to the Middle East, doing his best to FAFO. Y'all.
And they punking out.
They're punking out.
The UK is punking out. Spain is punking out.
Spain, Portugal, France, Germany, UK, y'all stand down. Don't get involved in this mess.
Don't punk out.
Do not get involved in this mess, because had the tables been turned, he'd have been saying, y'all ain't paying your fair share, so NATO, no. He's been too wishy-washy. Stand down, stand down, stand down. Wanda says the titty baby, that's the Melon Felon, in case you didn't know. The titty baby is trying to destroy not only this country, United States, but the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to do whatever he can do to stay his behind out of jail. Him and BB, Yahoo. Both of them are criminals. Both of them have been indicted. Both of them have been found guilty. And the only reason they're not in jail is because they found a way to remain in power. That's what all this is about. The baby boy going to jail. if we had our way, right? My niece's planned trip to Thailand was canceled because of her layover in Dubai. Yeah, we don't lay over in Dubai anymore. Not like this war notwithstanding, the Dubai airport, while beautiful, is just too damn expensive. And I just, they don't want me there. They do not want me there. They don't.
Yeah. Oh, we got some friends going to Asia.
Yeah, but I don't
But they're not going through
Thailand, because didn't nobody say that.
Yeah, they're not going there.
Yeah, they're on their way on Wednesday. The patient and persistent prospered after a Wall Street crash. That's right. Getting back to the investing, y'all. Do not look at your portfolio on a daily basis. That's not what we do. We are hold, invest and hold, invest and hold, invest and hold. I don't know how to day trade. We can't coach you on day trading. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about long-term holding, right? Right? Just think, had you been smart enough to buy Apple stock back in 2002? Since then, it went like this, but it went like this. But if you were watching every day, you might have been, oh, I just lost $100. Yeah. I just lost $1,000, right? I know our portfolio is down a bit, but see, it's time in the game. And you need to look at your overall, the lifetime. If the lifetime is still up, even if it's not, it's going to come back around, because the Warren Buffetts and stuff like that of the world are just not going to allow it, because that's their money too. That's their money too. All right. Reverend Al Sharpton's message was about that at the funeral. Okay, I'm not sure which exactly, but I've got to go back and look. I did hear some of the people who spoke at Jesse Jackson's funeral, and it was very good. Y'all, don't get into Al Sharpton as well. Do not get into the nonsense that happened later in their lives, where people are saying, "Oh, they're just sellouts. Oh, they're just trying to get attention." They both have been fighting the good fight for decades, y'all, for decades. And that doesn't mean that they're perfect. I'm not saying that, but they did help a lot of people, and they changed the way things happen. Okay. Both Al Sharpton ran for president and Jesse Jackson ran for president. And Barack probably would not have been able to win had it not been for the people who preceded him, right? Including Shirley Chisholm, right? Are you aware that the EU has adopted its own payment system, phasing out Visa? Yeah, we have heard about that. I'm not happy about that. And I don't know that they're phasing out Visa 100% today. I don't think that would be viable for them. It's too integrated right now. They lose a lot of money, especially from tourists. So, but I think for their own banks, they're thinking, we don't have to keep on with this. Look, I'm looking for points. And so far, the European cards don't do the point stuff like the United States.
No, they have to do a whole lot more change.
Exactly. I hope Iran doesn't hurt Black people. Remember the 79 hostage crisis? Yes. And Jesse Jackson helped with that. They let go of the Black soldiers and women. Thanks to Jesse Jackson. Iran said the Black people were already oppressed by America. You've heard some Black people on TikTok and Instagram and everything else saying, Iran, don't target Detroit. Don't target Chicago. They out there saying, please, we on your side. We on your side. Come on now. The Cheeto Mussolini regime has bombed so many countries already. They really, really have. And there's so much going on. I don't know that they've bombed Mexico, Tashika. I haven't heard that. No, I haven't heard that either. I've heard that they want to bomb Cuba, that they want to bomb Ecuador and Colombia. Now, Venezuela, yes. Iran, yes. And Nigeria, yes. But I don't think Mexico, Cuba, or Ecuador have been bombed yet. I'm almost positive. But yeah, he's out of control, right? And if he thought he could get away with it with no ramifications, he already would have done it. Is Social Security in jeopardy? Will they cut me off? I guess you're meaning to say if I'm out of the country or out of the States.
Well, as much as they can cut you off out of the country, they can cut you off in the country. And that's why you need to have a side hustle.
Exactly. You do not ever want all of your money coming from one source.
Mm-mm.
Okay. You need to have multiple sources of income.
Yeah.
Seriously, y'all.
For real.
Seriously. We have about 6 or 7 sources of income because I can't trust that Social Security check is going to continue. I can't trust that when I get to the age that I qualify for Social Security, that it's going to be available. Now, there are ways that you can lessen the risk. There's no way for them not to know that you're living outside of the country. Once you have to file the first tax return where you've been out of the country for the majority of time, that's when they're going to know. Okay, so there's no way around that. And as Americans, no matter where you are, even though you haven't made any money, you've got to file your taxes every year. And if you have more than $10,000 in an account outside of the United States, you need to file that FBAR, FBAR. Just Google it. It's very easy. I did it on my own the very first time and every time since then. And it needs to be filled out before April 15th, y'all. Okay? All right. So keep a United States bank account and a United States address. Well, you've got to keep an address because you've got to have a place where they're going to send your ballot or where you vote from. Because wherever your address is, that's where you vote from. Well, I just vote in Colorado. Well, I just vote in California. Yes, but there's local elections. Who's the mayor? What mayor do you get to vote for? Are you in the city or are you in a suburb that's actually another city? Your address. And who, like for us, I need to be voting for the Denver mayor. So whatever address we have, if we didn't have our home, has to be a Denver address so I can vote for Denver mayor because the Denver mayor has a lot of control over what happens to Colorado as a whole. The Denver mayor has a lot of power and I want to have a voice in that. That's going to affect a lot of stuff dealing with our family and our real estate that we own there. Okay. So that's one thing about the address. We have our Social Security deposited into one of our United States banks. And then we wire huge chunks at a time here for 2 reasons. One, so that we don't feel the everyday or the monthly up and down is daily, but up and down of the exchange rate. Okay. I like to know that our rent is what it is. It's $1,400 a month. It's 1,500 euro a month, whatever. But see, 1,500 euro when we first moved here would have been $1,500. Now 1,500 euro is about $1,650. I don't want to feel that on a daily basis. Okay. So we move huge chunks of money, like a quarter of a year's worth of expenses at a time. The second reason is because it costs money to move money. Mm-hmm. There's no way around it. And I don't want to pay that money every month. That starts cutting into stuff. Now, if you're only doing it twice a year, our fee from our United States bank is $15. And then on this side, it's about 15 euro. Okay, so we're talking about $30 every time I move money. Now, if I was doing that every year, every month, that's $360 a year. That could be a plane ticket. That's 2 plane tickets to France. That's 2 plane tickets to Italy that I'm just giving away in fees. Oh, no. Okay, so that's what we do. And we have heard from people who moved to places and had their Social Security check deposited in their foreign bank account with no problems until there was a problem, until that country was no longer a friend with the United States. And then all of a sudden they refused to deposit the check into that bank account. We do not want that for you. To me, the easiest thing is just to keep it deposited in your United States bank account and then transfer large chunks as you need them. Why do we expect more from them and not more from ourselves? I don't know, M. Robinson. I don't know. I think we're overly optimistic. I think Americans in general suffer from optimism, which is why we're in the position that we're in now. What is the name of the European credit card? I don't know. Can Americans apply for it? Baby, I do not know.
I mean, they use
Visa
they use
here
the
right
Visa.
now.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, look, this is Europe. It's going to take a while. They've been rolling out the ETIAS system for tourist visas for 2 years now. At least 2 years they've been rolling that out. Okay,
Yeah.
So I'll wait until we get closer to do more research. Why do white people think they know more about Black experience than Black people? They think they know us, y'all.
I think they invented us.
Right?
I think that's what they do. They think they invented
Well,
us.
they kind of did. They kind of did, because this version of African is much different than the Africans who stayed on the continent, and much different than the Africans who ended up in the Caribbean or South America. So their nonsense, their abuse, their lack of godliness did shape how we are, for better or for worse. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that at all. Hillary has always had strong Black women in her crew.
She was Bill's attorney too.
Yeah. Sent email last week, but maybe was the wrong email address. I'll email again because we'll be back in Lisbon and would love to be invited. Okay, great. So I'm just going to tell y'all, it's hello@ourBlackUtopia.com. You need to put I'm in Lisbon in the subject line, because we get a lot of emails. And so I be scrolling, looking for specific stuff. Okay. Put scholarship in the subject line if you need a scholarship. All right. We be looking at a lot of stuff. All right. We only started being lazy when we stopped working for free. That part, Allison, that part. Boebert did not have the high school diploma until. That's right. She flunked out of high school, y'all. It was Palin who flunked out of community college.
Yeah.
Now, if that were a Black woman, business owner or not, there is no way on God's green earth, or Black man, that they would have been elected to Congress with a GED. How a person with a GED and a little restaurant that has gotten tagged so many times for violations thought that she could go head to head with the former Secretary of State is beyond me. Former senator, former first lady is beyond me. But like, we need to channel our inner Boebert, because that's some bold ass shit, y'all. That's some bold ass shit. And we need to be just as bold. $2,500 per month each, or between the two of us, Rita, between the two of us. Rent, utilities, cell phones, basic groceries, transportation is all included in that. There is a better life outside of the United States where you don't have to work until you die. We don't want that for you, right? We do not want that for you. You don't have to wait till you're 65. You don't have to wait till you're 70, right? It's time to go, y'all, because there will come a time where it will be impossible. If left to his own devices, if left to their own devices, they're going to make it so that we cannot leave. Okay? This is the way this plays out. We've seen it before.
John says that's saying it right there, John. Don't let naysayers
stop you from your calling.
Yeah.
Live your new life and learn to be happy. It may be scary. We're not saying that we weren't scared when we made this move. Like, oh, do we know what we're doing? We will figure it out. We're smart. You can figure it out. And just because you land someplace, and had we landed in Lisbon and then after a year we're like, that doesn't mean Portugal's the wrong place.
No.
Maybe just Lisbon is the wrong place. Maybe Lisbon proper, the city of Lisbon, is the wrong place, and we need to be out in the suburbs of Lisbon. Okay?
You don't know until you get out there and do it.
Exactly. But remember, all you need is the faith of a mustard seed. That's right. Live, love, and be happy. You're absolutely right. Also, You could probably live, and this is something else my mentors would say, you could probably live in another country for what you pay for your mortgage or your rent right now. Okay? Let that stick. You could probably live all in for what you pay for rent. What we have to charge for our condo in LA, knowing that, like, if we bought it brand new, these people would have to be paying like $4,000 or just bought it at market value today. They'd probably be paying $4,000 plus per month for a 1-bedroom apartment. But we don't have to charge them that because we've owned it for so long. It's crazy, y'all. It is crazy out there. Okay, we answered that one. I do not want to fight all my life. We don't want you to fight all your life, Tammy.
Mm-mm.
Seriously. It's tiring and it's killing us. It is killing us. How do ballots come? Okay, so we answered that. Allison's done with the struggle. I ran away from a grizzly bear and I ran to the tour bus. Yes, run from danger, right? As I said, if 100 people were running that way, what would you do? What would you do? Thank you, Liz. Thank you for the super chat. We so appreciate it. For those who want a new plan, let's do it. Y'all, join the utopian community. We got you. In the description below is our Move Abroad toolkit. Start there. If money is the issue, start with our free Ready to Retire toolkit, okay? It is not as difficult as it seems. It really, really isn't. The Talarico Crockett race was a signal, y'all. This was not about personalities. It was about instinct, because when given a choice between disruption and comfort, white folks and too many Latinos,
they choose comfort.
They chose comfort, right? That's a signal. And the signals matter because they tell you where the system is headed. It tells you where it's headed. And I don't want you guys to get caught out there. That's what I don't want. That's what I don't want. All right, let's close this stuff out. We are totally at 2 hours. Didn't mean to do all of that. I was like, oh, it's going to be short this week. It's going to be short. Exactly. These are your go-go years. Ric's about to have surgery on his knee in a week and a half or so. And we're going to do everything that we can to get him back on the mend 100% as quickly as possible. I remember when my stepmother had a little health scare and she's fine, but she was like, it was a wake-up call. It was like, wait, I'm not be able to do all the stuff I wanted to do. Let me start doing stuff now. Like, oh, wait. That extra 5,000 that I thought I needed, that extra bonus that I thought I wanted, it does not take the place of not being able to do what I wanted to do with that bonus. Right? So bless her. She took that money and did her like a 3 to 4 month tour of Africa, of all these different countries in Africa. And I am happy for her that she got to do that. That's a beautiful thing. You're letting us know how possible it really is. Yes, Rita. Yes, it is possible. It, like, the reason why we live in Lisbon, Portugal is because we could not afford to retire at that point in time in the States. And we still can't, because we can't pay that healthcare cost. It's only worse now, healthcare wise. So, and I was tired. I was going to die. I was literally going to die. If I had to work another year, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. Those 100,000 votes were stolen, burned, bought, bribed, and God knows what else. She won.
I believe you. I'm with you.
I believe Kamala won.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that had there been no shenanigans, that Jasmine would have won. I really do. They're scared. There is a reason why Governor Hot Wheels was spending money against Jasmine Crockett. They are so elated that the mediocre white man won. Elated. And I'm sorry, but he is mediocre in comparison to Jasmine. He is. You put it on paper and you can see it, and he had the audacity to call a man with a former NFL player, civil rights attorney, former congressman. He had the audacity to call him a mediocre black man. It's like, dude, you ain't done none of that shit. But you have the see, just when we think they're allies, they show their true colors. They show their true colors. I do not want GOP light, because that's what he is.
They can't help it.
They can't help it. If you're getting Social Security disability in the U.S., you can't receive that when you're living abroad. Yeah. The regular Social Security is fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But again, I suggest that you get it deposited in your American bank account and then do tranches, quarterly, biannually, however. Did you hear? They say if you have been married multiple times, you must bring proof and have a copy of each divorce or you can't vote. Twana says the cost is $75 per copy. Now, of course, that depends state by state. Okay, county for county. Every county, every state does not charge the same amount to get a duplicate of something. But still, that's a poll tax. That's a poll tax. Yeah, there's more than one way to wage war, right? Sometimes you just suffocate them or starve them. What are the implications of the USA being allowed to use the Portuguese airbase in the Azores? Does that put the country in danger? I mean, I'm sure that America is using all of its bases around the world.
And that base has been there for a while.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. And the Azores is not that close to the mainland.
No.
But still, it is Portugal. But I don't think that because they're using the airbase. We're on the bases everywhere. We're still on the bases in Germany and every place else, right? So yeah, I think Iran is being very, very strategic, and they're doing guerrilla warfare, not traditional. Been to Austin, Texas 30 years ago for my cousin's wedding. We couldn't drive out of there fast enough. You could feel the anxiety. And Austin is great. Like, as far as the South goes, Austin is like one of the more progressive, on point, great food places. I love Austin. But yeah, it's still the South. Yeah, it's still the South. And I can feel it. I don't know about y'all, but I can feel it. AI's message was that the problem is not Trump. The problem is us Black folks. We have forgot a lot of things and have lost our way in the fight that Jesse was fighting for. AI doesn't always get it right. We're not the problem. Racism is the problem. Racism is the problem. Now, I don't accept that. Could we have done some things better? Can we do some things better? Have we allowed a colonized mind to divide and conquer? Yes. But America has been that light or the shining hill and all of that stuff because of us. We gave America a conscience. We gave America a soul. So it wouldn't even have survived this long had it not been for us. So AI can kick rocks. It does not know everything. And I was arguing with it today. So what are the implications of US being allowed to? Okay, we answered that. They are willingly clueless, because if they have to face it, CK, then they feel like they must do something about it, but they are lazy and they don't want to do anything about it because it is not in their best interest to do anything about it. And even though they would like to see things more equitable, not equitable enough for them not to be in charge. Right? Not equitable enough so that they don't have some privilege. Because it's really bad when you know that your people have never been on the right side of history. It's really bad when you know your people do not have the moral authority. It's really bad when you know your people have gone around the planet doing the same damn thing to everybody, conquering, stealing, pillaging. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. And this is not our fight. This is not our fight. We didn't break the shit, and it's not up to us to fix the shit, okay? We didn't break it. We're not going to pay for it, and we're not going to fix it because we can't. We can't, okay? We cannot. You cannot legislate morality. And legislation does not change hearts and minds, nor is it our responsibility to try and change hearts and minds. Our responsibility is to understand how the system works and to do what we can do within the system to get what we want. All right? That's called voting and sending letters and faxing. Yes, faxing still works, senators and congressmen, and calling them. And understanding what endorsements mean and who you should be supporting. Vote blue no matter what? No, not anymore. No, they have lost that privilege. They have lost that privilege. They hid why Kamala lost. They lost because they handicapped her and brought in all of these white Washington so-called strategists who, instead of rousing up the base and making sure we are excited to show up and show out like we did for Obama, no, let's try to get some of those moderates, the people in Ohio, blah, blah. How did that work out? Oh, and let's not mention Gaza. And so here we are. At the end of the day, racism is the reason why we are in the position that we are in, why America is in the position that it's in. It's racism. It's very, very expensive. And there's no reason why we should continue to pay that cost. Black people deserve a life without permanent struggle. All right? We do. And if a country continues to show that it will prioritize white comfort over our safety, if a country continues to show you that they will prioritize white comfort, the Epstein class is protected, and they give performative lessons over our structural change, like Juneteenth Day and MLK Day, right? But they leave in place 3 strikes, you're out, and all of this other nonsense. What the hell? We have to be honest. America is not learning its lessons. It's not. The Talarico, Jasmine Crockett race showed us it is not learning its lessons. And if it's not learning, we have to decide.
We have to decide whether we're staying to teach it or leaving to protect our peace.
Are you going to stay and try to teach America the lesson that it needs to learn? Or is it time for us to protect ourselves and our peace? So put this in the comments. Put it in the chat. If you're watching from the future, put it in the comments. What does ease look like for you? What does a life of ease look like for you? Because that's what we want for you. If you need help in creating that life, we do offer one-on-one coaching. That information is in the description below. If you need help getting your money together, start with the Ready to Retire Toolkit. It's free. It's in the description below. And then consider joining Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program for late bloomers just like ourselves. Everything that we learned to go from negative 22,000 to 1.1 million in net worth is in that program. Hopefully you guys have hit liked. We've had over 400 people for a while. Hopefully we got over 400 likes. Okay. Subscribe, and hit that notification bell twice so that you know every single time we go live or drop a new video. And if you are a utopian legend, tickets for the meetup are now available. Go to our YouTube page, look under the post. Only you can see it. And you will get the link to buy tickets for the meetup. Our meetup is during Juneteenth week, as you know. June 15th and 16th are the formal days, but we have activities going on every day from the 10th through Juneteenth. Y'all, we're going to have a ball, aren't we? We are going to have a ball. We're going to do a river cruise. We're going to go see Nazaré, a medieval village. We're going to have wine tasting and all the stuff. All the stuff. All right? We love you. And we're going to see you on Thursday.
Thursday.
See you on Thursday, y'all. Bye.